Shalom.
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 Alright, this is the brothers here from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another lesson. Alright, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai. Alright, so brothers, please yes. Alright, so first and foremost, Kala La Alahayam Hawa Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai Basham Kodash. Alright, so double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone as well.
Shalom.
Alright. Double salutations unto the brothers who preaching, teaching this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedoms to do so. Now more than ever for this truth. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites, who may look like the other nations, but are Israel to your forefatherly lineage, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwatiam, which is the sisters listening and learning. Alright, so the lesson that we're going into tonight through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shai is Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 8. Alright, and is a beautiful lesson and an important, very important lesson at the same time. It speaks a lot. Alright, now Daniel 8 is prophecies that already had happened, alright, fulfilled even before the coming of the Messiah, alright, when he had first came upon the scene, alright, but it still plays a relevant role into this time here now, in these last days here now. Alright, it still plays a heavy, not just a relevant role, but a heavy relevant role right here now. Alright? Because as I said, I think it was last year or something like that, very early in the year or something like that, when we was on the highways and Bibles breaking down before beasts and what have you. Alright? Now, the Bible, it deals with race. Alright? The Bible deals with race. All these Christians and what have you who want to say that we are racist and we look at race and this and that and the other. The very said Bible that you defend falsely, alright, it deals with race. And Daniel 8, it is going into a race of people, alright. A matter of fact, Daniel 7, from verse 1 to verse 8, alright, those four beasts was literally four different races that Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai give to rule upon the face of the earth. Those four beasts was four different nations, which was actually four different races. Because the Babylonians was who? They were Hamites. They were Ethiopians to be exact. Alright? The Medo-Persians, the Medes, alright, they were what? Japhetic. The Persians, alright, their true nationality is Elam. Alright? Then you had the third, which was the Grecians, alright? But they are not the true Grecians, alright? They took that name upon themselves, alright? What you had there, those who were calling themselves Grecians by the way of Alexander, alright? They are what? They are actually Edomites. Alright?
If I go ever the fireball, Edomite go, this fucking white man go. He steals another man's nationality.
And his heritage, correct is right. Correct is right.
So he's a culture bandit.
That's right. Alright? And when you go to the fourth, alright, which is the Romans. The Romans were Edomites. They are Edomites. Alright? And Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8. It is even a bigger proven fact that the Edomites, the descendants of Esau, did not came from Ishmael. They are not Arabs. Alright, hold up, we're not going along that line. I ain't going along. I done deal with that during sometime last week or wherever. Make a whole 2-hour long video blocking all points, you know. But when you really get the understanding of the scriptures and understanding of the prophecies and certain books within the prophecy, within the scriptures, you know, you get to have a clearer understanding. Somebody is in Psalms 119, I think verse 15. Should I precepts? We go start with that. Should I precepts? I get understanding and I eat every false way.
Yeah, and Brother Carter's are even now.
Yeah. When I get it, you go read it one time. But I'm within Psalms 119, and let's can't remember the exact verse.
119 and 104.
And 104. Alright, so when I get it, you go.
Longest Psalms.
Yeah, that's one of the longest Psalms. I think it is the longest Psalms. Yeah. Psalms 119, verse 104. When I get it, you go push out one time.
This is the book of Psalms 119 and verse 104. Through thy precept I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way.
Therefore I hate every false way. Alright, because as I said, you know, when I get the understanding of the scriptures, and get to understand the prophecies and what part the prophecies have to play within the scriptures, within its time sequence. Alright, within its time sequence, because everything is Gema Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 3 and 1, and we will get into it. We will get into what we come to do.
Basically, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
They say to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
To everything there is a season and a time. And a time to every purpose. Where's our purpose? Prophecy. So once you get to understand the prophecies and the time sequence that it's supposed to take place, it's supposed to be fulfilled. Alright? And linking it by the precepts, the correct way, get the understanding of the precepts, you will get to hate every false way, the false teaching, the false understanding that you had before, the false outlook that you had of the scriptures.
Precept to bring up your
Bring it on.
There's a simple one, Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony.
Simple but very effective.
Yeah.
Simple but very, very effective. Go ahead.
God.
Yeah.
To the law and to the testimony. What testimony? Testimony of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy.
That's right.
Right? If they speak not according to this word.
If they speak not of what?
According to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
It is because there is no light in them. Alright, if they don't speak according to this word and speak in its truth, speak with it within its truth. Alright? If you don't do that, if you don't follow those instructions, alright, it's because there's no light in you. Alright, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua hasn't put that rock, put that upon you to get that understanding, to push forward that truth. Alright? Because what we're going to go into here, alright, to the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, no Christian, no pastor, no pastor could be able to break this down. As a matter of fact, I must go up on YouTube and see if I could get a Daniel 8 breakdown from them Christians and them. And do a next video
in Israel, elders of Israel and see.
What you say? Wow, that's worse.
That's painful. That's painful.
Yeah, taking me on next hour video from them with that shit. That is real feeling.
Alright.
Horrible.
Alright, so who will be my reader? Kyle? Alright, Kyle, you go be my reader. Alright? Yeah. Alright, so go ahead.
So they Daniel 8 and 1.
What?
It say, in the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at the first.
Alright. Alright, a vision, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua give Daniel a vision. Alright. And this vision here is something, you know, that is very prophetic. That is about to take place in the future. It was not the very near future, but nevertheless it was in the future and it was fulfilled. Alright? It was fulfilled. Alright? And alright, he given it in a vision. You can get a precept from it where the Lord speak to some in visions and
Oh,
Oh,
give your son, the young men, dreams and visions and things?
Nah, that next
Go on
one.
to that
Nah.
it's some
Right.
Oh,
I know what you're
speak
talking
to
about.
us
You
in-
know what you're talking about? To the prophets.
yeah, that's self I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So much precepts just be as they just can't really get the whole all.
Yeah, but I think it's around there. No?
You like to read it?
Bring it out there. If
Bring
it
it out
get
if you
there.
have it.
Yeah, nice. Like from Britannic and like yeah.
You have it there?
This is the book of 2nd Chronicles 32 and 22. Now the rest of acts of Hezekiah,
I think that was it, but
Hezekiah and his goodness, behold, they are written in the visions of Isaiah the prophet.
well, that wasn't it, but that wasn't it. It's a scripture where the Lord comes, he speaks to some in dreams, he speaks to some,
I know what you're talking about. Then. See if I can find it.
he speaks to some in dreams, he speaks to some in visions
Visions.
and what and so forth. It's somewhere in within the first 5 books, I think. Let's bear with us, Baba Kusha, while we get this scripture here. Because what you are done, I will speak by the time.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's numbers 12 and 6.
I know I had it. I was on it just now. You know, I said, oh, yeah, so this I really
Numbers
did.
is numbers 12
Yeah,
and 6.
I was just on it just now.
Spirit man, spirit
I went to
man.
move with Moses. When,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is Numbers chapter 12 and verse 6.
Nice it, yeah.
Right?
I'll
And he
say I
said,
know it in the first 5 books. But go ahead.
and this is when Aaron and Miriam came up against Moses,
Yeah,
right?
Right, yeah.
But the funny thing, I do a video on that today. You know?
Yeah, well, like, you see that? He's spirit. So, this is when the Lord came down in tabernacle Yahweh Shai, right? Verse 6, Numbers 12 and 6. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. Right? Now my servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. Right?
Done.
And the similitude of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai shall he behold. Why? Because you see the image of Yahweh Shai. Wherefore then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
Can. Alright, but we ain't going into that part, we dealing with the part of,
Yeah.
how the Lord speaks to his prophets,
Can.
alright, to his servants, by visions, by dreams, and what have you. Alright, and this is what this is how we dealt with our forefather, alright, the prophet Daniel. Alright? So
Done.
continue now.
Verse 2, it say, and I saw in a vision, and it came to pass when I saw that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam.
Which is in the province of where?
Of Elam.
Because Daniel, he wasn't also in the I think he was in the Babylonian, Medo-Persian. Alright? Medo-Persian captivity.
Yeah.
Alright, Shushan is a province within Elam. Alright, Elam is where known as Iran, modern day Iran. Alright? Good? Good.
It say, and I saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Ulai. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which
what?
had 2 horns. A ram which had 2 horns.
Alright. Now that ram, which had 2 horns. Alright? That ram which had 2 horns. And you got to hold the camera. Alright? You got to hold the camera. So, yeah. Alright? I want you to bring the book on what? Anyhow. Right, so what verse you had reach, Baba Kusha? What verse you had reach? Alright, yeah. Read over verse 3, Salakia.
Verse 3, right? It It said, then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river.
What are you doing? Shalom. Good to see you, man. Shalom. Strength. Good to see you, brother. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yabashim Ashai, Bashim Akakoda Barakatam.
Yes, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, your notebook and thing with you? Alright, so we're going to stand up at the side and you go take notes.
Just watch your camera.
Yeah. You don't really have to turn the camera, leave the camera as it is. You just stand up at the side and take notes. Alright?
Over verse 3, right?
Yeah, read it over.
It say, then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns.
Go ahead.
And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher became last.
And the higher became last. So now, this is what I want you to do, Karatasa. You go to Daniel 7, alright, and you will start from 1. I will just hold on. Let's hold it, right? And you will start from 1, but let's hold it. Alright, so that verse 3 there will speak about that ram having 2 horns. Alright? It is speaking about the Medo-Persian Empire. Alright? And that prophecy of the Medo-Persian Empire, alright, that is what? That is the second beast out of the 4 beasts. Yerushalayim, Daniel 2, you know how what?
Yeah.
And Daniel 2.
Bring it out.
You bring out the Daniel 2 first, then Karatasa go on. Because we just read right, through thy precepts I get understanding and I hate every false way. Alright, so he's going to give you the true understanding here through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, according to his will. Alright, we are not going to manipulate, alright, and falsify the doctrine that great men had labored, you understand, to push forth here for us younger brothers here to carry on and continue this way, because the scriptures see what we have entered into other man's labors, right?
Yeah, can't.
Right.
Enter next man labor, you have to be worthy of that labor.
Of course. Alright, so when you get it,
Yeah.
Daniel 2, concerning with the dream now, we breaking out the stuff.
Yeah, can't.
Yeah.
Let me see where I go start. Okay, let's start where Daniel revealed it to him, right?
Yeah,
Daniel
for
2
time's sake, yeah.
and 31. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible.
Can.
This image's head was of fine gold,
Was,
his breasts and his arms of silver,
his breast and his arms of silver.
his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay.
Alright, so the part where it's silver, it is speaking about the Medo-Persians. The head of gold, alright? A matter of fact, continue reading.
Alright.
Yeah,
Verse
continue
34, Daniel 2 and 34. Thou sawest still that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay,
Alright,
and break them to pieces.
That image that was without hand, that is Yahweh Shai. Alright?
And the same stone you could get in
Revelation 18, Great Millstone. Can that Great Millstone?
Great millstone.
Can?
Can.
Right?
Which is Yahweh Shai.
Can, which is Yahweh Shai. But we
Can.
go to thing because that will make me straight.
Yeah,
You know?
another direction.
Yeah. Good.
Can. Verse 35.
Although that is a decent, deep topic.
Yeah,
but-
I will topic by
Yeah.
itself.
Well, good.
Another video on that.
Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them.
Alright, and that's speaking about the thermonuclear missiles. Yeah? Yeah, wipe them to hell out. Good.
And the stone that smote the image, Yahweh Shai, became a great mountain and filled the whole earth, the new kingdom.
Can.
Right? This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the power of heaven had given thee a kingdom, power, strength, and glory.
Alright, that's right.
And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven,
Which is the other nations. Go ahead.
God, hath he given into thine hand.
And you know scripture comes to mind as you reading that? How the scripture said how we set up the beasts of men have
God.
I don't know if that's
And Daniel right there.
Yeah, but I Daniel 4:17.
yeah. The verse showing you and give it to the beasts of men.
Beasts of
The
men.
beasts of men eat so eat up.
God, the wicked, why sons of the wicked.
God. Go
God,
ahead.
right? And had made the ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. Because I think they say the Babylonian Empire actually was the greatest.
Yeah.
Out of all, the most richest and them
Yeah,
little.
yeah.
Right? And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee. And another third kingdom of brass.
Right, now that kingdom, let's say inferior to that goes into silver because silver is inferior to gold.
Can.
Alright?
And another third kingdom of brass.
And another third kingdom of brass. Alright, and brass is inferior to silver and gold. Alright, but we're dealing with verse 3, what he read in Daniel 8, alright, with speaking about that ram with the two horns. Alright? You read earlier on in the same Daniel 2, where it speak about the head of gold, chest of silver. Alright, that chest of silver is the Medo-Persians. Alright? The brass is the Grecians, the iron is the Romans.
So if like you have the book you take down these, you take down them notes something like that. Right? So
Alright.
if you say it over again for the brother.
Alright, so as I said, when you go into Daniel 2, when you go into Daniel chapter 2 and it speaks about, and it breaks down, and Daniel given the description to Nebuchadnezzar concerning the statue, alright, what it represents, the head of gold, the head of the chest of silver, the leg, brass and the feet, iron and on the toes, part iron, part clay and whatnot. The gold is the ancient Babylonian Empire, ancient the Neo Babylonian Assyrian Empire. All right. The chest of silver is the Medo-Persian Empire, ancient. The brass represents the ancient Grecian Empire, and the iron it represents the ancient Roman Empire.
Right? So
Alright.
you will have it like this. The image that Daniel saw is in the Babylonian Empire, right? Which represent gold, right? It began from 605 to 539 BC. I'll read it again. It began from 605 and ended 539 BC.
Right?
So those of you who listen to Brother Nigga, they can even mark that down too.
Okay.
But that is how it is.
Right.
The Medo-Persian Empire, please Christian will continue.
Yeah.
The Medo-Persian Empire, which represent the bear, silver, their rulership, they took rulership from 539 BC from the Babylonian Empire, and their rulership ended 331 BC. 331 BC. That's why the classes is very fucking important. I like brothers missing classes, but you know that is just, I don't want to say that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The Grecian Empire, which represent the leopard, brass, their rulership began from 331 BC and ended 168 BC. Let me read it again. The Grecian Empire, which represent the leopard, the color was brass. Their rulership started 331 BC and ended 168 BC. And the Roman Empire, which represent the Great Red Dragon,
It was the iron.
their rulership began from 168 BC and ended, and ended 476 AD. 476 AD.
Alright, when they fell. Alright, so So as I say, right?
I could go into more, but
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, alright, come. Alright, so we dealing with verse 3 and showing you what verse 3 really represents in Daniel 8, right? Right? It represents the Medo-Persian Empire, right? To further confirm, bring it out from a Karatazar.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 1.
Go ahead.
In the first year of the Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and vision of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spoke and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four wings of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
The great sea represent the people. Alright, go ahead.
Verse 3, and four great beasts came up upon the sea, diverse one from another.
Different one from another, right? They had their own ways, their own laws and what have you, so forth, right? The own way of constitution. Alright? Constitutionalized way and whatnot, so forth. Alright, go ahead.
And the greatest figure at the Great Sea, according to the four kingdoms of the Mediterranean Sea, that was a border in the Mediterranean Sea.
Can't.
Yeah.
Verse 4, the first was like lion and had an eagle wing.
Alright, that was the ancient Assyrian Empire. Alright, their symbol was the lion with the eagle's wings. You could go and do your own research and you would see that. Alright, continue.
I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man,
Go ahead.
and a man's heart was given to it.
Go ahead.
And behold, another beast.
Hold it there. Why the wings were plucked off and it was made to stand, the lion was made to stand upon its feet as a man, and a man's heart was given unto it, is because the Babylonians, they end up conquering the Assyrian Empire, and the Assyrian Empire was ended up being absorbed into the Babylonian Empire, so it was being called the Neo-Babylonian Assyrian Empire. Alright? And the symbol of the Babylonians were the lion. Alright? They take off the wings. Alright? It was just the lion itself. Alright? Yeah.
Lion, standing lion.
Yeah, a standing lion. Alright, that was the ancient Babylonian. Alright? Continue up.
Yeah. The second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in the mouth of between the teeth of it.
Gone. Alright?
And
That second it is speaking about the ancient Medo-Persian Empire. Alright? That beard is speaking about the ancient the ancient Medo-Persian Empire, Salakia. Alright? The ancient Medo-Persian Empire. Right? And where it said it had three ribs in its
yeah, and it say and it had three ribs in its mouth of it between the teeth of it.
and those three ribs were the three major three strongholds that they had conquered from the Babylonians. Was Babylonia, Egypt and Lydia. Alright, three major cities that the Medo-Persians had conquered. Alright, those what those three ribs represent. Alright, continue.
And they said,
Mark that down. Mark that down.
Yeah, mark that down, write that down.
Yeah, mark
The
that
three
down.
ribs in Daniel 7 and what verse? Verse 4, yeah, those three ribs. Verse 5, those three ribs in Daniel 7 and verse 5 represents three major cities that the Medo-Persians had conquered, which was Lydia, Egypt, and Babylon. These is very important thing because this is prophecy you're dealing with. Because although that prophecy had already been fulfilled, you still have to understand it in order to be able to understand what is taking place here right now.
Yeah, how will we get a AKA America KKK?
You understand?
How America managed to be the last kingdom or superpower to be
Correct is right, because
you don't understand the breakdown of Daniel, you wouldn't understand.
yeah, you wouldn't understand.
A man will come and say, well, them fellas talking madness because he don't understand it.
Gone. Alright? Because to back you up, why you have to understand those already passed? Why you have to understand it? Alright? Because it plays a very integral part here now, because America, which is run by Esau Edom, alright, is known as what? The daughter of Babylon.
Done.
Alright? America, alright, is Mystery Babylon the Great, and Esau Edom is the daughter of Babylon. That's why it's very important to know these things. Alright, because it plays a very integral part in what we are facing here right now.
Then when you know this thing, you can go out on the street and preach with confidence.
And this is why we of GMS say we have 100% true. Because everything that I'm saying here right now, could any one of you come to prove us wrong? Could any one of you come to prove us wrong? Anybody?
We use in the Bible history. We go to history, even the secular history, you will see it.
God. Alright, so continue, that's our last verse 5. And
God.
you go back into
That precept is back up is in.
yeah. Bring it up quick, because remember the time here with the lights here.
Right, so they pushed on 2 and 20, right? But ye have an unction from the Holy One,
Oh boy, beautiful.
and ye know all things.
God, that you know all things, and this is what they just be vexed with us, GMS. Because I know two prophecy and GMS.
So continue it up. It say, I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because ye know it, and that no lie is of the truth.
And that know what?
No lie is of the truth.
That's why we have 100% truth, because we are not going to give you lies.
In the scriptures say that the Holy Spirit will guide you into all
All
truth.
truth.
Right? And the scripture say we are that earnest, that down payment. That Ephesians 1, we still say we are that down payment. That was the word for it? It's a word that they use in Ephesians 1 and 13. Earnest expectation, you know.
Right.
So that down payment for for salvation. And that guide us on all we need for salvation.
That's
Simple, yeah.
And even the simple scripture, you must 3 and 7, you say you believe this
Secrets of the servant prophecy.
Yeah.
Alright. So that's not let characters I finish off verse 5. Finish off verse 5.
And they said, thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
Arise and devour much flesh, alright? Go on and conquer. Alright? Because anyhow, go back to Daniel 8.
We don't have verse 3, right? Daniel 8 and 3, it said, then I lift up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high.
Two horns were high, go ahead.
But one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last.
Right. One was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. You gotta understand the situation here. The breakdown of it here. It was the Medo-Persian Empire. The Medes and the Persians, they came together to form a new race, alright? That was it there. They came together to form a new race, alright? And they call it what Medo-Persia. Now, when the first start off, it was in the other king, right? It was the Medo-Persian Empire, because the Medes they were strong at the time, but as time progressed, all right, it ended up being transformed into what? The Persian Empire, all right, because the Persian, that's why you say and the higher stand up last, all right, which was Persia, all right, which was the Elamites, these so-called East Indians that you know today, the people of East India. Afghanistan, Pakistan,
In fact, somebody
Iran.
just a back up his hand, you give me Esther. Give me Esther.
What Esther?
First chapter. Esther.
First chapter?
Yeah, Esther chapter 1. Esther chapter 1. Just the back up his hand. The king, he was Persian, but he was a Muslim. Read that.
Esther 1 and
India.
Yeah, well,
Ethiopia.
yeah, that's verse 1, yeah.
Yeah. is the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse
A matter
1.
of fact, you could read the verse 2.
Yeah, because it was
One
going to
and
that
two,
Shushan,
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus,
Which is Artaxerxes.
or just Xerxes.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 107 and 20 provinces.
Over 100 and what?
And 7 and 20 provinces. And
Now,
I-
why did they rain from India to Ethiopia and over all them provinces? Remember, the Medes and the Persians, when they come and do as Prisca and say, they took over toward the Babylonian Empire.
Empire. And the Babylonians were what? Ethiopians, right?
Yeah.
So you see from India onto Ethiopia.
We not lying.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm gonna read down verse
Actually, and actually, when I said onto Ethiopia, it's really onto the border. Border going
Yeah.
border from because Ethiopia had
was
never been conquered.
Yeah.
Ethiopia has never been conquered, and the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai made preserve Ethiopia for a particular reason. For Jake, yes, not only the Abyssinian Empire. This is history here, and this is why I always tell brothers,
Yeah, because the scripture say, I just say the border, the scripture say because you will take them down to the border.
right?
Always say the border.
Listen to what I'm saying this here. History coincides with prophecy, and prophecy coincides with history. The Bible is the most accurate history book in the world, and brothers, not only should just be knowing just the Bible, but you have to have some sort of knowledge within history. The reason why the Lord preserved Ethiopia, all right? If the Lord had let Ethiopia to have been conquered, all right? The prophecy of the Amos, I think, is 9 and 7, all right? That prophecy, that what the Lord say, are you not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me?
Yeah, yes.
All right?
Yeah.
Anybody have
Because
a
the Egyptians, when they have been conquered, after the Babylonians conquered Egypt never, that was totally it for Egypt. Egypt never was able to rise. All right? Again. And after the Medo-Persians,
Yeah,
then you
it
had
was
who?
9 and 7.
So let's hold it, eh?
Yeah.
And after the Persians, you had who? The Grecians. And when the Grecians take over Egypt, that was it for Egypt totally, because Egypt ended up becoming whitewashed. Right? To now where you have now, it always undebatable, but Esau still tried to push his lies to say that Egypt was always so-called white people.
Yeah.
All right? Because you know they have certain artifacts that they could try to bring out and fool the people
Ptolemaic dynasty.
from the Ptolemaic dynasty.
Gone.
But what before the Ptolemaic dynasty come into power, who was there?
Gone.
All right. Now, if Ethiopia was conquered, Ethiopia would have been whitewashed through the same way. That's the reason why the Lord made sure and preserve Ethiopia from never being. Not even Mussolini could have accomplished that feat of conquering Ethiopia. All right. But go to the scripture.
After now, a lot of the icons and the old ancient Bibles and from the Orthodox Church and everything like that, they still have the images.
Yeah.
So a lot of the images. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Esther chapter 1 verse 2, that in those days when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan the palace.
Which was in Shushan the palace. The same Shushan where Daniel giving you that vision from. And here in Daniel,
Verse 3, yes.
right, go ahead.
Verse 3, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media.
The power of what?
Of Persia and Media.
Can't.
That's just the point.
That's
Yeah.
the point there,
Yeah.
right?
No,
So you're
yeah.
seeing we're not lying. Right? The power of Persia and Media, because right when the scripture say what? But one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last, which is the Persians.
Gone.
All right, they end up being more powerful than the Medes. All right, and that's how it ended up becoming known as what? The Persian Empire.
Gone.
All right, so continue with Kyle. When we get down into it, when we get down.
Right there, verse 4.
And I'm telling you something, brothers, only young brothers. But I should have had other young brothers like Kyle and Zan and Ahmad and brother, yeah? Yeah, no. invest in a little highlighters. So always highlighters.
Kyle always highlight. Kyle always highlight.
Always have highlights.
Yeah, Kyle one thing with Kyle.
The crafts is your Bible must be paint up. Highlight.
Kyle always a highlighters. Always.
Highlight. See, that's how we gain understanding.
That's how you sharpen your sword.
Yeah, you're highlighting.
That's how
You're
you
highlighting.
sharpen
Come back here, you're sharpening our cutlass.
You're fired.
You're fine.
You know you're sharpening stone. Go ahead.
Pen too.
Go on. Go ahead.
Verse 4, right? It say in Daniel 8, right?
Yeah,
It say,
yeah.
I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward.
Alright, that is them conquering and take and absorbing all these lands and whatnot so forth. Alright, because you see how vast the empire was from India going all the way down to the borders of Egypt. I mean to the borders of Ethiopia, which is actually what border Ethiopia, not Egypt. Alright? Go ahead.
And it say, so that no beast might stand before him, neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand.
Can that right?
But he did according to his will and became great.
And became great, right? The Medo-Persian Empire was great. Right? These East Indians, they had a vast, great, mighty empire. Now all they're known for now is all these East Indians known today now for is curry and spices.
Oh boy, planting.
And plantain body and tomato and pimento.
And now today in Ashlam, they die probably, but they still like to fight for land. And
Yeah. Yeah, they had a vast empire, vast empire, these East Indians and them.
Yeah, they record in the scripture.
Right?
God said it's not in the Bible, in the Bible. But as what?
Right, so go ahead, continue.
Right? So it say in verse 5, and as I was considering, behold, and he goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth and touched not the ground.
It's flying by.
And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.
Alright. So this we get down to the nitty-gritty here now. That he goat. Alright? That he goat. It is speaking about Esau Edom. Alright? It is speaking about Alexander. Alexander is prophesied in Daniel chapter 8 for the ones who do not know. Daniel chapter 8 is more heavily going into Alexander coming into prophecy.
Right? Because the Maccabees and that time together.
Right? Daniel chapter 8 is giving you the first outlook of these Edomites coming into power by the way of Alexander the Great. That's how those Edomites came into power.
Evil began to multiply.
That's how these Edomites came into power. And that's how because the Apocrypha, this is why the Arabs could never be Esau. Yeah. That is why Arabs could never be Edomites. Alright? Now we're not saying that they don't have any Edomites amongst the Arabs. But the Arabs, they came from the lineage of Ishmael. The Edomites, the so-called white man, they came from the lineage of Esau. Alright? So we see in here the first instance, we see in here where what's taking place here is that he goat, it is speaking about Alexander. And we're going to prove it. And we're going to prove it why the Lord classified them as the goats. Isaiah 34.
I know where you're going to. Goats and lambs and
and he will separate the sheep from the goats, like Matthew, I think it's Matthew 24 or something like that. Somebody can get that one for me. 13, yeah, where you will separate the sheep from the goats and what have you. So give me the Isaiah 34
This is the
now.
book of Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Upon who?
Idumea.
Idumea is the Greek word of saying Edom.
And
Esau, Edom.
And this yappa too, because this one will prove how they try to cover up in the scriptures too. because this book Isaiah was written in Hebrew. What a Greek word doing in a Hebrew text,
Can?
right? Yeah. So this is what it, upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse, which is Esau Edom.
Can?
Esau Edom was born leprous.
Can?
The leprosy is a curse,
That's right.
right? To judgment. The sword of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats.
And with the blood of lambs represent the children of Israel.
Yeah.
Already 2/3. And the goats is Esau Edom.
Can.
Go ahead.
And with the fat and the kidneys of rams.
Yeah, that is,
Yeah.
that is the other nations.
And look at that. I just a small interjection here. Even though the Lord, 2/3 who don't believe the gospel, who see the heritage and don't believe this gospel they preaching, the Lord still call them lambs.
Yeah.
He call them goats. Goats is the other nation.
Well, Esau.
Esau, Edom in particular. But the lambs now represent the Israelites.
Can?
Always. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Right? Let me continue. Verse 6, right? Isaiah 34 and 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It's made fat with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats and with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai had a sacrifice in Bozrah.
Then where?
In Bozrah.
This is America.
Can. Back to Isaiah 63 and 1. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Can. Alright?
Another word for Esau, Edom.
Can. Go ahead, Kyle. That, you had the scripture what I asked for? Yeah.
Find it out? Yeah.
Bring it up, brother.
Yeah, and this is the book of Matthew 25 and 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them from one and another, as a shepherd that I birthed
Divided.
Salakia,
That's okay.
his sheep and from the goat.
Can. From the sheep and the goats. Alright? So we seeing here who are the sheep and who are the goats, but we're dealing with that rough goat, right? So go back to the scripture.
Right?
So read it over again.
Right, reading over verse 5 in Daniel 8, it says, and I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.
Alright, so why it says he touched not the earth? Because you have to understand this. You had the article from concerning with Philip.
Philip, yeah, I had something there.
Right.
Shall I pull it back up?
Yeah. You're going to read the article just now. As soon as I done say this. Why did he touch not the ground? When I see touch not the ground, that's just a metaphor. Alexander take 8 years, approximately 8 years, to conquer the whole Medo-Persian Empire, which was, you would have to say that was very quick. Alexander was running through. When Alexander went on his campaign to conquer the Medo-Persian Empire, alright, he did it in quick succession. 8 years was very quick. To literally conquer 120 something provinces.
Yeah. And with a relatively small.
With a relatively small military.
Yeah.
In that quick time of 8 years.
Yeah.
He was breezing through.
And they show you that is the Lord who set them up.
Who set them up?
Yeah.
Right?
The basis of
The
man.
basis of man. I can't bring it out now.
This from Encyclopedia Britannica. A summary of Philip II, right? Philip II, or Philip of Macedon, born 382 BC and died 336 BC in Asia Minor.
Can, because Alexander is the son of Philip the Macedon.
Can.
And we have reasons why we go into Philip in order to reach to Alexander. Go ahead.
Can. 18th king of Macedon, right? 359 to 336, the father of Alexander the Great.
I ain't lying. 100% truth. Go ahead.
Appointed regent for his nephew. He seized the throne. These Edomites always backstabbing one
always
another.
backstabbing one another.
Yeah. He initially promoted peace with his neighbors. That sounds familiar. using the time he gained thereby to build his forces and introducing innovation in arms. Right, which go back to Esau blessing the sword. He make innovations in weaponry. Right?
Not just because.
What you do, basically make a covenant with them or something?
Well, and make peace. Remember, Psalms 55.
55,
Right, using the time gained thereby to build his forces and introducing innovation of arms, tactics, and training and stabilizing his western frontier. So he was one who set up all them, even going into the Roman Empire, he set up all of the tactics and other things like that. Yeah, his movements on the eastern frontier provoked the Greeks into forming a coalition against him. Right?
It was the Japhites and that.
Jaff, correct.
Right.
He intervened in the sacred war to free Delphi from the Phocians, becoming the ally of Thebes and the Thessalonian League.
Thebes is
Thessalonian,
in
yeah.
is in
Egypt.
Egypt.
It's Phocians, what it is?
I think it's Phoenician, I want to say.
Phoenicians.
Yeah, but they make them Phocians.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
Phoenicians.
Yeah,
Because the
most likely.
Phoenicians were Hamites.
They were Hamites. Yeah.
They were Canaanites.
Correct.
And they of Thebes.
Yeah,
They are also Hamites.
Hamites. But
No?
they're more Egyptian.
Yeah, Egyptian. But go ahead.
That's how I am.
Mhm.
You say the Thessalian League, Slovakia, whose president he became, right? Demosthenes turned Athens against him with his Philippics between 346 to 342 BC. And Thebes also came to view Philip as a threat. He defeated both at the Battle of Chaeronea, becoming leader of all Greece. So he defeated all the forces, becoming leader of all Greece. The Japhites he defeat. He formed the Greek states into the League of Corinth to attack Persia, but was to attack Persia, but was undone by family politics. Because I'm not finished read this part
Yeah,
here.
go ahead,
But then after he took a second wife, his first wife, Olympias, left him. Does this sound familiar? Feminism.
Can.
I see who started? Edomites.
Can.
Right? His first wife, Olympias, left him, taking Alexander basically with her.
Can.
Right? Philip was assassinated by a Macedonian nobleman, possibly in collusion with Olympias and Alexander.
Can.
See that?
Can. Right? Because he died, he was assassinated on the eve of his campaign to
That's
go
a
and
summary.
conquer
Yeah.
the Medo-Persian Empire. Now, the little horn it is speaking about, that little horn, alright? And that notable horn between his eyes, that is speaking about Antiochus,
Antiochus Epiphanes.
right? Antiochus Epiphanes, alright? But continue reading now. That little horn there, that is Antiochus Epiphanes, yeah? Alright, go ahead.
You wanna read First Maccabees here, Doc? Or you wanna just the first part?
No,
Philip? Or you wanna read that later?
leave that till
Alright,
later,
can.
yeah. So go ahead. Go ahead, Kyle. Continue reading verse, chapter 8.
Right? So going back in Daniel 8 here, verse 6, it says, and he came to the ram and had two horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power.
And ran unto him in the fury of his power. Alright? Which means what? Serious war. He waged a serious a war campaign. Alright? To conquer the Medo-Persian Empire. Alright? Go ahead,
Done. Right? Verse 7, right? It says, and I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with color. as
Cool. Hey, go into that blue letter and I want to, and find out and get the meaning of that word there for me. Cool. In that, yeah.
Daniel 8 and 7.
Yeah. Somebody, don't worry. What's up on that? Right there. Until I would cool and break it down for me, I will go on it.
It say to be bitter.
To be what?
To be bitter.
Yeah.
To show bitterness. To be enraged.
Can.
To be strong, strengthened.
Can.
Vexation.
Can, because that is how that is he didn't because when they go back up to
Yeah.
when they go back up what you say what the scripture say what he in verse 5 what you say where you say he and
Touch not the
and he touched not the ground. He was literally wiping out these freaking East Indians and them and these meats.
And the reason why it say that to when you say touch not the ground, 'cause you know they like to say the high end power, then say like he ain't touch the ground.
Now
He
what-
was just breezing through.
But he when he was moving fast. When I say moving fast,
He wasn't stopping for
he wasn't
anything.
stopping for
Just
anything. He was continuing conquering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if
As I said, that when he said
Yeah.
touch on the ground, that's a similar a metaphor to say to so to speak now.
like,
but-
like how we
Yeah.
like how we say how they say Christopher Columbus say he never twists on his sword,
Yeah.
something like
Something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Correct is
Yeah.
right. Alright, so where are verse 7? Yeah.
Where they say he don't go 6 continue me.
Here, let's see.
And came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing with, for the river, and ran on him in the power
Of his fury,
power.
right? Right. And we don't have verse 7 now.
I was asking where let's see for that.
For verse 6,
Yeah.
when he came to the ram that had 2 horns, alright, he came to him in his fury. When I say he came to him in the fury of his power, waging war. He came to wage war. Alright, when he didn't literally come up to him and talk to him face to face. No, wage war.
Correct.
You understand? Because on the eve of his father, Alexander, father, Philip, going on to the conquer, they had a big dinner and whatnot, so forth, but he was poisoned. He was assassinated.
Yeah, they assassinated.
Alright, and with that, Alexander was still young at that time. So Alexander, when he reached around 8, I think it was 18. I think he was 18 or a little older.
He was about that.
He was about that, you know. When he reached that age, you know, he take up the mantle. He take up the mantle to go and well, he sat in his father's stead and take up the mantle to go and finish what his father had started. All right, because the father had 4 men, 4 generals, all right, that was nurturing Alexander,
They grew up with him.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why he's saying Maccabees. Oh.
Right? That's what this thing.
Like they grew up like your brothers.
right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
don't
And that's why you think it's them.
the Bible, boy, it's very deep. So go ahead, continue. Right, you over verse 7 and go down to verse 8 one time.
Yeah, verse 7,
Mhm.
it say, and I saw him come close unto the ram,
Mhm.
and he was moved with the collar
Mhm.
against him,
Right?
And
Much anger,
Yeah.
right?
and smote the ram,
Mhm.
and break his 2 horns.
And break his 2 horns. He conquered the Medo-Persian Empire.
Yeah.
I tell you, within 8 years, 10 years, if so much. All right? But he did it in quick succession with a relatively small army. All right? Relatively small army.
Yeah, like again, it goes back to like what Christopher Columbus do. Within a few years' time, rounds up the fucking Israelites.
He was 20 years old when he come to rulership.
20 years old, huh?
Yeah, 32, so it's 12 years.
Yeah,
was the
12 years.
conquest.
Right,
Yeah.
right? So I say he could have been a little more older, right?
Yeah.
So 20 years, all right?
Rounds up the Israelites and have it down here in the freaking west.
Go on. Where are?
Done. Right? It say, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him.
And there was no power in the ram to stand before him. No power at all.
They took away the union.
No power. So now you can read the Maccabees, son.
You want to finish off this verse?
Yeah, finish off that and then you can read the Maccabees.
It say, but he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand.
And there was none could deliver the ram out of his hand, right? So now read that Maccabees, that first Maccabees, and then reading from 1 to verse 8. 1
Yeah.
to 8.
This first Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim,
Chittim is more than this Cyprus.
yeah,
All right, go ahead.
had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
That he reigned instead the first over Greece. When he said he reigned instead the first over Greece, he was the first so-called white man,
Edomite.
first Edomite.
Right.
All right, because just here Daniel 8 is actually showing you where Esau, and this is why you know the Lord is showing, and this is the Lord showing you know how he set up Esau and bring Esau into power and set him up so that prophecy could be fulfilled in him throwing down Esau. All right, because there is no other nation upon the face of the earth, all right, that has made such achievements all right, that have achieved much success as Esau Edom had achieved.
Actually,
success and wickedness.
Yeah, let me just read something here for you. Just to prove you're right now. Select, yeah. Let me just read something here for
Bring
you.
it out and then you go back to the
Fast.
Maccabees.
It will take long.
Yeah, that's it. You bring it out and then we go to the Maccabees.
Where you say land of Chittim is this?
Modern day Cyprus.
Cyprus, you said Cyprus.
Modern day Cyprus.
Right, just somewhere. Right, just somewhere. This is Malachi 1 and 4, right? That's a Puskan, right? You see? Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Right, which is
So,
America.
going back to what you say, the achievement now, boy, how this the Lord set up this business of man, and the kind of achievement he has made.
Correct.
You
No
understand?
other nation, none.
And let me finish it off. He say, thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will shoot down, and they shall be called, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever.
Gone. So we're done.
Thus says the Lord.
Gone. So we're done. Continue reading the Maccabees. Gone.
Yeah, because so, just before you read, just to back up his kind, in thoughts and coming to my thoughts. How you call them again? The first empire. Well, not the just Assyrians, the Babylonian, right? They were strong. Nebuchadnezzar, the head of gold, he was strong.
Yeah, he was strong.
Then the Lord blew him off with the Medo-Persian Empire. Then the Greek come into power. If you understand what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and how the Lord setting up these things now, boy.
Gone.
You understand what I'm talking about? All this coming to my mind. I say,
Proper.
look at that.
So it's the irony.
And when this particular devil come in power, all the other empire, that was Daniel say, they were diverse one from another.
Gone.
But the strangest one is this Grecian
And the Romans.
and the Roman Empire.
Because them Israeli. And if you watch it carefully, yeah, Lord let the strongest of the heathen reign first. Coming down to the weakest, the worst, the most wicked.
Gone.
So it was a progression from the strongest of the heathen straight down to the most wickedest of the heathen.
Yeah.
The Gentile rulership.
Gone.
To get progressively more and more wicked.
Wicked, yeah.
Right, and scripture was there.
Because they are the vilest of the earth.
Can
Right, go ahead.
this First Maccabees 1 and verse 2. And it say, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations.
Gone. Which goes back to the very which goes back to the we say on verse 7 and where he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Right? Because when Alexander come onto the scene and he deal with the Medo-Persian, the way how he dealt with them, all right. Not only that they could not rise, nobody could not come to the aid of Darius and nobody could not redeem him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Because why? It was his time to rule.
Done.
Prophecy has to be fulfilled. Nobody could step in the way of prophecy being fulfilled by the power and strength of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai.
Can.
None.
Right. I'm glad that you say that. For that's why this food's sponging up all over the world now. You know why? Because they can't stop it. This is our time to rule now.
Can.
So a new kingdom is emerging, and this demonic fucked up kingdom is getting out and getting ready to the king.
And the Lord appoint all these heathens bounds which they can't pass.
Gone.
A lot of them are certain age to
rule.
rule. Yeah.
Right, go ahead.
You see, in so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
And his heart was lifted up.
Become
Pride.
proud,
Right? Right? Go ahead.
And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries.
All right, got it on mighty, because when he conquered, he take men from there and absorb them into his military and what have you. Go ahead.
Done. And he ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth.
Khan, which is the four generals.
Khan, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive.
Can. That is verse 8, right?
Yeah, nah, verse 6. Verse 6.
Alright, drop it from there.
Alright.
Drop it from there. Alright, continue.
Right, verse 8 in Daniel 8, it said, therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up 4 notable ones.
For what?
Notable ones.
4 notable ones, right? So which we just read there. Who came up with him from his youth, which is the 4 generals, right? Which was Lysias. Is Lysias was his name, one of them? Lysimachus,
Ptolemy.
yeah, Lysimachus, Ptolemy, Cassander. I forget the next one, but Seleucus.
Can't forget that one.
You understand?
Antiochus
Yeah,
come out from
yeah,
it.
where Antiochus came out from.
Yeah, devil,
The
yeah.
from the Seleucid Empire.
Yeah.
Alright? this Bible, boy.
Yeah.
But what smell? You niggas can hate on GMS all you want to hate on. All you want to hate on GMS is nothing. But we know the truth. We have 100% truth. Bring it out.
Right, so continue and say, and for it came up from 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
To what, right? To what the full all where he that all his empire, his empire. Alright? These men had the share now, boy, had the domain now, boy. Alright? Go ahead.
Verse 9, it says, and out of one of them came forth a little horn.
Out of one. So now go back to the Maccabees.
Read it out there.
Go to Antiochus.
Come out from Seleucus.
It's Antiochus.
One little thing there, we'll go through that.
Yeah.
Right. There's continue. First Maccabees 1 and 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years, from 20 years old to 32 he lived, right? He ruled. And his servants bear rule, everyone in his place. The same 4 servants.
Same 4.
Generals
Generals,
that
yeah.
I talked about in Daniel.
That's right.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So that their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Go ahead.
And there came
Go ahead.
and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
That is that horn, that little horn that's speaking about there in Daniel 8 and what? Daniel 8 and what?
Yeah, 8 and 8.
Daniel 8 and 8. Antiochus. Verse 9, sir. Right, verse 9, right?
Yeah.
Antiochus, it is speaking about Antiochus Epiphanes, that wicked root.
Yeah.
You understand? And this just to show you that the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible. Because
It's factual according to history too.
It's factual. Because look, we see in how the history literally lining up.
Correct.
The history, the historical account from in the Apocrypha literally lining up with Daniel 8.
Correct.
Even Gino Jenner know it, but he can't use it.
Yeah.
Because he would never he know it, but he would never ever go to them to these books. You know where he go to? Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
He will go to Book of Jubilees. He will go to Book of Jasher.
That is why we don't use that. That way nigga use
But Rasa Esther,
Yeah. He ain't going to
he
that.
ain't going to that.
He ain't touching that.
First and second Esdras, he not going to that.
Haman and them, you want to talk about
Yeah, he ain't
Haman?
gonna talk about Haman and these motherfuckers.
Yeah, he want to talk
He
about
ain't
that.
gonna talk about them.
Because he's one of them.
Can.
That damn Macedonian. Yeah, he probably a descendant of Agag.
Yeah. Right? Here's where it is.
Yeah.
Right? That wicked root, alright? That wicked root is speaking about there. We've seen it here. Alright? We've seen it lining up right there. Antiochus, because Antiochus came out of Seleucus.
God, he was I think the
Because I had some on my phone. But just only because we use my phone the thing.
he was the 5th generation. He was the 5th. He was the great grandson of Seleucus. It was about 4 or 5 generations. Which in the
after.
reincarnation he could have been Seleucus.
Seleucus
Coming back in the reincarnation. Yeah. That's how dread it is. Yeah.
Our pastor say that and when he say that I jump in the spirit, I said, but the apostle really on point. Apostle say fucking this guy
vocab.
No, Trump.
Trump.
It's fucking Nero.
Nero,
Yeah,
Emperor
yeah.
Nero, yeah.
That emperor.
That Emperor Nero. They
Can.
even had the same resemblance, all kind
It
of
look
fucking
just like
thing.
him, boy. It
Yeah.
look just like him. You ever see the old boss on Nero?
Yeah.
It's Trump.
Yeah.
Trump all over, boy.
Can.
Trump all over. So these Edomites, and then they assign different titles to themselves.
Can.
Seleucus called himself the Nicator, which is mean the victor.
Vector, yeah.
And then they had I think Antiochus the fourth, which is Antiochus Epiphanes.
Can.
He was the son of Antiochus the Great.
Yeah, yeah.
He was the son of Antiochus
Antiochus
the
the
Great,
Great.
and he was the one as we're gonna read about here, man. I'll read it first, and then I'll let's go. I'll
Yeah,
explain it.
yeah.
He say so this first Maccabees 1 and verse 10, right? And they came out of them a wicked root. Antiochus surname Epiphanes, surname himself Epiphanes. But Epiphanes means God manifested. I tell you how prideful is this
Can.
this
He call
this
himself
nasty
a
Edomite
God
is.
now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They had that God complex about them from ever.
Can.
But it goes all the way back to the fucking garden.
Can.
It goes all the way back to the garden. But anyhow, go ahead.
Yeah. So it say, yeah, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, right? Because he had become a hostage of you to the fact with his father,
Yeah.
right? You know, so he served a hostage for his father.
For his father. He did
for a
time
few
for his
years.
father,
For a few years, yeah. In Rome, right? And in Rome there he started to learn the ways and like the ways and the customs,
Can.
right? So it say he reigned in the 130 and 70th year of the kingdom of the Greeks after his father died. Father was, I think he died, he was put to death, right? And that's when they write down some history here. They say that he tried to unify the Seleucid Empire through strict Hellenization.
Can.
That was his way.
Yeah, because he wanted, because he was one Ptolemy that
Right.
going all the way because
Yes.
Daniel 11,
Yeah.
Daniel chapter 11 is actually going into the Seleucid and the Ptolemaic wars.
Which was the they call it the wars of the Diadochi.
Right.
Like Diadochi wars. That was the all four emperors fighting against one
Fighting
another for
against-
supremacy.
Oh,
Right.
but hey,
Diadochi.
hey,
Yeah.
let me hear you Christians friggin' come and break this down here to the nitty
Can't do
gritty now,
that.
boy.
I keep wicked. Them game break down John
Can't,
3:16.
yes, I feel
Yeah,
it.
my thing is.
I feel it. I feel it.
Sure,
Hey, yeah, them listen to we here now, they're gonna be like, wow.
You never, you ain't getting history like this.
Can.
Yeah, so this
why go wow when you just repent and come back to your heritage?
can.
You just want us to go wow, these brothers well good.
Go ahead.
So this guy was a madman. Basically, he called himself Zeus Epiphanes. You know, God revealed.
Can.
But he changed his name to Antiochus. His real name was Mithridates. Mithridates. But the people and the Israelites call him, they call him Epimanes, which means he's a madman. So
Yeah.
he say Antiochus Epimanes.
Can.
But he's a blasted madman.
Now,
He's crazy.
For you Christians who are there who listening to this and things like that, so how you brothers can know these things? Yahweh Shai church is a school, you know. You say, come and learn of me, you know. You say, come and learn of me. Then the way you think the truth is about to learn.
Can.
Yahweh Shai, the Lord's church is a school.
That's
Come
right.
and learn of me.
That's right.
He didn't say go to church and sit down and just hear pastors to say what he had to say. Come and learn.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but this devil, man, basically from what he say, he tried to destroy our heritage.
That's right.
That's basically what he was
Which
trying to
when
do.
you said go, we will read it in Daniel 8. So
Can.
you finish it or you
Can.
still all the thing again?
That's a little thing. I
Go
said.
ahead.
He well that's from what I write down here. He vented his anger on Jerusalem as he was not allowed to take over Alexandria, so the Romans forbid him.
Can.
Right, so he was angry. That's why a lot of the time he take a lot of it
On Jake.
on Jake.
Because you see, a big part of playing it too.
Jake always the punching bag.
Yeah.
A big part of playing that when Alexander had finished his conquest and he came to Jerusalem, you know, we greeted him with respect and whatnot, so forth, and show him the prophecy.
In
All right,
Daniel.
in Daniel, our forefathers show him the prophecy and show him that, hey, this is you here, you know, all this is you here, you know, Alexander. And because of that, he showed favor upon us.
And not only him too. All of the Seleucid, he was the first one out of all the ancestors to come against our laws.
Our laws.
All of them, the other 4-5 generations before him,
The
had honor what Alexander.
Honor what Alexander had proclaimed.
Yeah,
The
but
pact.
he didn't care two F's about that.
Yeah. Because all
Yeah.
Alexander wanted was he supply soldiers and he
Yeah.
and he tributary, you know, he food
Can.
and money and whatnot so
Yeah,
forth.
correct.
And that is that all they can continue to do all the laws and whatnot so forth so
Can.
forth.
And that's the reason why too didn't have no revolt in Israel.
Can.
He was the one who caused the Hasmonean revolt.
Revolt,
the
yeah.
Maccabees.
Yeah, it's him.
And that
Yeah.
remains so, and that remains so even until the Roman Empire come in, because
Can.
we said that people tribute to Caesar and all that
And
kind
all
of
them things, you understand?
Can. But he want nobody worshiping any other god except the pagan gods.
Can.
And that was where the problem, because the other Seleucids had allowed, and that was Alexander's philosophy, to allow anybody to serve their own gods.
Can.
Yeah,
Right?
can,
And
but
yeah.
he, this devil,
He didn't want that.
He
he
didn't
didn't
yeah,
want
that.
he wanted
that.
that
He trying to
at all.
change the game
Yeah.
around now.
Can.
Can.
To the end that they might forget the law.
Can.
And then the
Son?
scripture talk about wicked men make a pact with them and
With
say
them and all that
Yeah.
shit.
they will really
Nothing like
go
that.
across to them and start to serve their God and thing.
Right, so
So you think this even
Yeah, but
Jesus and they
go
can't
ahead.
get over Jesus?
Go ahead.
Because that verse you go to our verse just now. Don't worry.
You understand that?
Right,
You think
so,
the seven Jesus, this Negro seven Jesus and they can't get over Jesus, blue eye, blonde eye man, they can't get over him.
Yeah, devil.
With pink rod sucking lips.
Yeah. You understand?
Man,
Kill
you're
them
good.
there, they love the Jesus.
verse 9, we read over verse 9, right? In Daniel 8, it says, and out of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land, and it waxed great even to the host of heaven.
And it waxed great even to the host of heaven, right? That host of heaven is speaking about us. And we're going to see why I say we're going to, the scripture is going to show you why it's speaking about us. Yeah.
Isaiah 14 too. The stars in the north.
Ah,
Yeah.
you-
Isaiah the 14th chapter, yeah. Congregation, yeah. They
Right.
were above the stars in the north.
Right?
Yeah.
Because as he came up against, mostly as we just spoke just now.
Can.
Alright? Continue reading up.
Then, right? So it says, and it cast down some of the hosts
And they cast down some of the hosts, some of the Israelites. Go ahead.
and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them.
And stamped upon us. Alright? Which goes so here what you gonna do now? Here what you gonna do now for me? Read
So verse 44.
41.
41.
Yeah, read 41.
Yeah.
Alright?
Can.
Yeah, read 41.
I know you was going there. You think when you have one mind, huh?
Can.
Yeah, that's right.
Can
So
because
this
we
is-
how we manage to have one Salakia. How we manage to have one mind is because we have all been taught the same thing.
Can.
We had all been taught the same thing, so it's obvious we will have one mind.
So the scripture say, two work together, lest they
Let's
agree.
see,
Agree.
you understand?
Can.
That's why you can never function with somebody who has a totally different doctrine to yours.
Correct.
Okay, we take two different things.
That's confusion.
That is what it is.
Confusion. That's
Confusion.
serious. That's
The
serious,
place of
yeah.
Babel.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look the perfect example.
Yeah.
You see what
Yeah.
God knows, say?
Come.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Look.
serious. Heavy.
Look the perfect example. I didn't even have to say friggin' say. He don't know why he going at. He don't know why he want.
That's why I just find it funny how Sakari could be with
Unity
WF
camp with
with
WFI and
WFI,
Sakar and
UIC.
I know
and
IUIC.
Sons of Thunder.
Because now when somebody were to walk up to the camp and say, what is it man come to base? And Sakari done, but they preach the same thing we preach where that is concerned.
Yeah.
The RFID chip,
Right.
and Alice, you don't break it down for that person.
Yeah.
Then here comes Nate men balling, no, it is
It's an
sin.
embargo.
It's
Boy,
a
sin.
trade embargo.
A trade embargo is
Yeah.
a sin.
Yeah.
Because there are about 20 friggin' 30 different breakdown thing, you know.
No, you
Confusion.
you Sakari, but let's be honest with yourself. If you just break down and really explain about something about the Maccabees, and here comes another camp come and tell you something, how would you feel?
Serious, huh?
How would you feel? You see, I'll say you only talking up in your judgment, you know why? Because you just don't want to be humble and repent to your teacher, which is Apostle Tahan, and just give him the respect here. You just want to do your own thing. But I'll be honest with you, any brother who preach another, Paul came in, I think it's Corinth or one of these places,
Yeah.
and he said about who persuade you,
Yeah.
because he preached something and
Yeah.
he came back
Yeah,
and saw
he
them.
said you did run well.
Yeah.
Who threw you off course?
Yeah, who throw you off course?
Paraphrasing.
Who
Yeah, he threw
persuaded
you
you
off
to
course.
do something
Yeah,
else?
correct. Correct.
That's why Paul said now, if an angel would come down and
Yeah.
teach
Yeah.
another God,
Call it
another-
a curse, consider
like,
it a
Yeah,
curse.
fucking
correct,
curse.
correct.
Can. But anyhow, go ahead.
That heavy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Lord is not an author of confusion, but of peace in all the churches.
Go ahead.
Right, this is 1 Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom, this is the same King Antiochus Epiphanes, right? That all should be one people.
Right? Which is what they're trying to accomplish here again.
That's right.
Right? They're trying to accomplish that same shit here again.
Correct.
Right? The other what the new world order, the other what the great reset.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, well,
Yeah, via the draconian laws, which is what we're going to bring in.
You're gonna feel.
Verse 42, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Consented to what?
His religion.
Which goes back to what? Which goes back, jump up to 11.
Done. Right? So reading Daniel 8 and 11.
No.
You want me to go here?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
First Maccabees 1:11. In those days, when they're out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow."
And that saying they were saying is the same spirits that come back here. Is that same spirit was back then in when the Babylonians when the Babylonians had conquer we and whatnot so forth, and they say, hey, we is not going to stop. When Jeremiah was telling them, hey,
Jeremiah 44.
yeah, and I said that
remember,
we hear what you're saying in Jeremiah, but we will not listen. We is going to continue to worship the Queen of Heaven.
Typical
Yeah.
niggas, right?
Wicked niggas.
Yeah. Can.
Wicked niggas.
Can.
Go ahead.
First Maccabees 1 and 12.
And that could be the same niggas who was in Egypt when they come
Yeah.
out.
Of course.
Spirits,
Hey,
regenerate.
Yeah, of
as
course,
the apostle says, the spirit keep
Regenerate, regenerating.
Yeah, First Maccabees 1 and 12. So this device pleased them well, right? Then certain other people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise, which is what going to what the Olympic Games,
And whatnot.
right?
Yeah.
The Olympic
Gymnasium.
Games, right? A place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen. Because all that was linked to idol worship.
Idol worship.
It was when they used to run naked and all them things, that was against the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
You
Yeah.
the sports stars today now you're seeing them like take for instance track and field. What are the attire
God.
of these athletes in
Yeah.
track and field and cycling and whatnot so forth? What
God.
are the attire?
Yeah, they're
They're
naked.
naked because we used back then. We used to run naked and literally naked. You run swinging.
Yeah, naked.
Woman the titties freaking bop slap in the
This
face.
is real.
But then I read my Bible carefully.
No, this is
Yeah,
true.
that's what it is. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
That
Yeah.
was saying too.
Literally.
But you know, Lord never really had Israel playing fucking games. You know? Israel was meant to be warriors and we used to train like that.
Can.
I never hear no read those things where Bible said the day the people rose up to play the Lord fuck them up.
Kill them. Yeah, he wiped them out, boy.
Right, so-
Hey, wipe them out.
So go back now
That's,
to
a yappa. And the word gymnasium come from Greek. Gymnasium means naked.
Yeah.
Naked. Our gymnasium come from. When they
What
go
are,
to the gym.
I know, but I said,
Right, you see
what
what-
are the attire when they go? What are these females on them when they go to gym? What are them?
Can't make this shit up.
Yeah, what are them who now take part in the aerobics and whatnot?
Yeah.
Football playing and all kind of thing. No, I ain't saying that, but I can't do that, but that on your time. But like, in my spirit, I just watch the whole sports school and like, we not supposed to be in this fucking
Can't.
thing, man. Israel is army and soldiers and that's how it go.
Can. All I was part of idolatry.
I never read
Yeah.
one day where the Lord say and David was playing football and then Samuel came to call him.
David was a warrior. Huh?
Go ahead,
Very
go ahead,
good.
go on, go on,
Right?
go on.
First Maccabees 1. What time we are?
Yes,
First
yes,
Maccabees
sure,
1
you
and
guys-
verse 43.
8 minutes.
Until what time is it? What time is it? My close
Keep on, it's a
quarter
nine.
past 9, 9:30.
Alright.
You
Yeah.
feel the part 2 and it is all good.
Can. First Maccabees 1 and 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
No, when you see that part where you say many of the Israelites consented to his religion, what come to your mind? What did that even come to your mind? I know you lieutenant, I know you good to be your mind sharp.
You say this now?
Many of the heathens consented to religion
Brother, I should have you.
Hmm?
I would like to younger brothers.
Yeah.
Who's the next Eden come to your mind?
Which one? With a heathen?
Yeah, come to your mind.
Like a Gentile Israelite or
no,
a plain heathen?
A plain heathen. When they say many of the Israelites consider to his religion.
Cameroon and them.
No.
Which was that way?
A heathen.
A heathen?
In history too.
Oh, in history?
In history.
Islam, Muhammad.
Oh, yeah, that's all Muhammad.
Muhammad.
All right,
I
yeah.
love Lieutenant.
Muhammad, Islam.
I know it's so deep here going on.
Yeah, Islam.
Yeah, that's a serious thing.
Islam, yeah. Go
That's
ahead,
serious thing.
As you mentioned, as you read that
Yeah,
comes to my
but
mind.
that's the same thing they did.
Spirit of the heathen is subjected to the heathen.
Yeah, that's what they say.
No, really. Just as the spirit of the prophet is subjected to the prophet.
Yeah, let me read it. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. The same thing Muhammad did. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice.
They didn't want to repent. They didn't want to repent. But go ahead, read.
Because they want to keep us destroyed.
Go on, go ahead.
In the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. And pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. And this is what he did, I think it's 167 BC, December 16, where he dedicated the temple in Jerusalem to Zeus. The temple in Jerusalem to Zeus, and the temple in Mount Gerizim, which was in the Samaritan land, right? He dedicated that to Olympian Zeus, and they started to sacrifice the proper altar of Zeus in the temple, and started to sacrifice swine's flesh to Zeus. Right?
That's the only thing that Muhammad didn't make me do, because he
Yeah.
had all the codes of the Israelites. We don't eat swine flesh, so he make you old mumbo jumbo religion.
Yeah.
But what he did, the Israelite was to conform to his religion and then practice. Some of them who already realized the work taking place, this is what happened. We had no other choice, but we go practice the faith under law.
Yeah, no lose.
But if the actual way is just telling me he's a Muslim and end it right.
Yeah,
Another was crypto.
A crypto Jew.
Right, go on.
Yeah, So it say verse 46, right? Right.
I
So
said
it
the
say
spirit of the heathen is subjected to the heathen.
was first Maccabees 1:48 that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, their sons uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
Alright, so that is the day with that, right? So
Man, this man was a nasty devil, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, Kyle.
That is up to verse 49.
Right, so continuing back in Daniel 8 and verse 11, it say, yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of hosts, and by him,
Which was Yahweh Shai.
then,
Alright, go ahead.
right, it say, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and
Which
the
we just read. In Maccabees, go ahead.
Yeah. In fact, he sell the office of the high priest to the highest bidder.
To the highest bidder come. Yeah.
And it say, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down, and an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. Then I
And he
heard,
cast down the truth to the ground, right? Right? Because, hey, you know, right? When they say cast down the truth to the ground, right? It was what the laws, the statutes, the commandments, all these things. You know, he make us forget about it, you understand? There's where Hellenization came into place.
He was a major.
He was a major part of to play in it, you know, the Hellenization of Israel, all right, and that you know, and their witchcraft prevailed and it prospered, all right, because Israel now start to come under heavy Hellenization to the point where they totally forget who they were, and you know, all these heathenistic customs and witchcraft and practices, you know, Israel become versed in it, and through generation after generation after
Come at
generation.
degenerate plants.
Right?
About strange vines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Continue on.
That's
Let's
right.
see how far we can move with this.
right? It say in verse 13 it said, then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice, and the transgression of the desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot.
Go ahead, read.
And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed.
Alright? Which is a particular period of time. Alright? And I want to believe this going into I will have to research that. Don't take my word on that for yet, pursuant to that verse. But I want to believe that going into Hanukkah and the cleansing of the temple with the Maccabees now, but
Yeah.
end up.
I've done. Yeah, Asmodean. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I want to believe. I will research that. I will research that.
It eventually rebuild the temple and
Re-
whatnot.
Right,
Correct.
right? Good.
Yeah.
Dedication.
dedication.
Piece of dedication.
Can.
Correct
Can.
is right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Done. Right?
It could be right.
So verse 15, right, it says, and it came to pass when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man.
Go ahead.
And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision.
I just show you how the Holy Spirit of the angels too.
Can.
Gabriel as the Archangel Gabriel.
Can.
Right? The Holy
Can.
Spirit is what give us the understanding.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead up.
It said, so he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O son of man,
Which means prophet.
and
Son of man, which means prophet. Go ahead.
it said, for at the time of the end shall be the vision. Now as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep
Which
on my face.
makes sense because when you go back to Job 33 and 14, 15, the Lord is put you in that in a deep sleep. Lord will show you the dreams and the understanding.
Can.
Yeah, reveal the understanding to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right? It said, and on my face toward the ground, but he touched me and set me upright.
Give him strength then.
And he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last of the indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be. The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
Can. The rams which thou sawest are the kings of what? Media and Persia, the Persian Empire. But continue, Ak.
Right? It says, and the rough goat is the king of Grisha, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Can.
And even, you know, it's
That rough
Go
goat,
ahead.
yeah, that rough goat, right? The king of Grisha, which goes back to first Maccabees. The prophecies don't lie, the Bible don't lie.
It's impossible for God to be alive.
The Bible don't lie. And this just shows that all you Egyptologists are a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, as far as we understand.
This is prophecy here, and this is prophecy here. Where in the Egyptian book of the dead? Now this showing here, no, because when you go to, this is prophecy here, right? And it's show and not so far, and it even go to a showing here where Antiochus went to Egypt to take the kingdom from Ptolemy and what have you, so forth. Where in the Egyptian book of the dead have any prophecy pursuant to Alexander taking you all over and the fucking Ptolemaic dynasty, you understand? Fucking you all over.
Failure.
Where?
Failure.
Shaka almost where?
Okay, for this thing, I wanted to link something there.
Go ahead,
I can read over our last verse there.
Go on, bring out some papyrus where no.
Yeah.
Show me the prophecy.
Verse 20.
Go ahead up.
21, I think. 21 will be very rough good. Yeah, you can read
Yeah,
that
can.
one, yeah.
Right? So you know, for verse 21, it say, and the rough goat is the king of Grisha.
Now, then you go into the word rough. Right, I think it's Elakazak can bring it out. It's the word Sair or Sair. It means hairy. Well, I mean of hairy.
So,
Right? So then go back to Genesis 25 and 25. When somebody can bring it out. Genesis 25 and 25.
Bring it out quick
Right.
because we press for time.
Yeah. because
just to show you
it's
that
just to link
all,
it back.
All the prophecy
Yeah,
matching.
yeah, that is Edom we talking about here.
Remember-
Esau, Edom.
Yeah,
Who write that book?
Right, yeah,
Remember when Brother Nagad used to tell all the
That the white man book.
yeah.
I told all the Bible is like, you know, the jigsaw puzzle. You can understand
Bring
it.
it out there.
Unless you follow the Holy Spirit. When the Holy Spirit
Yeah,
will make you put the
24,
right puzzle
24.
together.
Go straight to the point.
Yeah.
All the things that look alike, you know, but you must put the pieces must fit neatly together.
Can.
Otherwise, you will never create the picture.
That's right.
Bring it out.
This is the book
Correct,
of,
sir.
the book of Genesis 25 and 24.
Can.
And when the days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in the womb,
Go ahead.
and the first came out red, and all over like an hairy garment.
Like a what?
Hairy garment.
Like a hairy garment, because he was like a flicking goat. Come out like a goat, right? When he yeah?
Let me read the name of
Go ahead.
And the name called his, no, they called his name Esau.
Esau.
Wasted away.
The so-called white man.
Yeah, can. So you see that you link there. We're not making this stuff up.
Can.
We're not making this stuff up. There's the interlinear in the Blue Letter Bible. And it says he, goat, buck, hairy.
Can.
Hairy.
These fucking Edomites just had to shave the the chest and the back and all kind of thing every 2 days.
Yeah.
Every 2 days and
Yeah, look, it say rough. Yeah. They say referring to a demon possessed goat. A demon possessed goat. And Esau is a demon possessed devil.
can.
They say, yeah, look, right
Can
here.
and
Yeah.
the goat symbol, the Baphomet.
Can.
Wait.
See that? Which is the symbol of Satan.
Can.
I see
What
it,
the
I
Lord
see
say? And I will expose Esau, man.
Can.
Cover.
Can.
Wow, man.
See, all praises to Abba Shem Yahushai.
And you Egyptologists want to talk against the Bible and that the white man book, and they say first they say that the white man book, and then they say the Bible take from the thing of Egypt, from the walls of Egypt. So then if the Bible take from the walls of Egypt, and then the Bible is the white man book, well then Egyptology is of the white man. And a matter of fact, you dumb niggas only know about Egyptology through the white man.
Can.
It's the so-called white man bring Egyptology to all the
teach all
niggas
that
crap.
and teach all that fuckery.
Bullshit philosophy. Bullshit philosophy.
Continue, Ak.
Right, so continuing back in Daniel 8 and 21, it says, and the rough goat is the king of Grisha, and the great horn that is between his eyes, the first king.
Which is speaking I Antiochus is speaking about. Go ahead.
Grand. It says, now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power.
Can. Alright, not in his power. Those folks, the 4 generals. Alright? But not in his power, not in his own power by the power of who? Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yahushai.
Alright? He gave them that dominion
That's
to rule.
right.
Yeah, that's
Alright?
why I was shy. Can I tell Pilate, he said, you have the power over me.
Can.
And the power you have is given to you by my father.
Can.
Yeah.
You can tell me X and X. No,
Yeah.
no.
Gotta take your time.
Can.
Go ahead, Ak. Continue reading. Let me
Can.
finish it off.
Right? Verse 23. It said, and in the latter time of the kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king.
Fullness of the wickedness.
Can.
Yeah. First Maccabees. Yeah, go
They
ahead.
say a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
That is Antiochus. That is
Nice.
Antiochus
That's
with the
definitely-
witchcraft and all the understanding of dark sentences. That going into the witchcraft and whatnot.
Same thing when you say when you come to the throne.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, the fullness of the evil there. Come.
Verse 24, it says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Right? Which goes into the because when you read First Maccabees, Second Maccabees, and read of all the atrocities that this man had performed against the children of Israel, but it will make you cry.
And this here too, what they say, but not by his own power. The Roman Empire was backing him.
Can.
The Roman Empire,
Can.
not by his own power. The Roman Empire
Empire
was backing him.
Can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was backing him.
Can.
Yeah,
Alright?
yeah.
Continue reading up.
So verse 25, it says,
Can.
and through his policy Also he shall cause craft to prosper in his land.
Right through his policies, which we just read from verse 41, go down to 49.
Done.
That they should leave the laws, the Jews and whatnot, and if anybody who following, if any Jew they catch following and consulting to the law and whatnot, they should be put to death. That was his policies.
Gone.
All right, and it's the same thing. It's the same. You could use it right back here now.
Yeah.
Through the same policies. If you don't take that MOTB, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, you
But
get locked
the
out the system. You understand?
You put to death.
We have a social score, we have a social credit score system. If you don't do according to what we think, you get locked out, so you can't be able to, because that was
Drop their tolerance points.
you understand? Because the C-hip is just one part.
Or let's say the law I'm at, I believe is I am more what he don't want them was literally saying the exact same thing that we saying. Where he talk about the credit score, the tolerance points and all them
things.
Literally what we all saying. He's saying the exact same thing.
And it's the same process, you know, anything is just the soap with technology. Technocracy
Yeah.
that they create.
That they create.
That you
Just
in the
more
front.
advanced,
So
yeah.
now we have cameras now to see if your face frowning or you're smiling
Yeah,
for the wickedness.
yeah.
To know
With
if
facial recognition.
Facial recognition. Yeah. Yeah.
Biometrics.
Yeah.
These fucking devils, man.
Gone.
You know, brother, the gut face always fucked up. Watch it.
Go ahead.
Continuing verse 25, it say, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes.
You shall also stand up against the prince of princes, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And it's the same thing they're doing today now.
Ghana.
Yeah? These people actually building up a fucking space force. Yeah? These people actually building a space force. They done had the space shuttles out there already, the stations, yeah, which is actually outposts.
Deep enough. This thing deep enough. You see a real deep there now.
No
Yeah,
new thing
Daniel
under the
was never
sun,
know
boy.
You see, he stand up against the prince of princes, boy.
Yeah,
Let's
because
go back.
just a backup, please, your hand. It's just to show you, this man has been answered with his space station and loaded with nuclear. You know that, you know?
Yeah.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
You can shoot down.
Just shoot the law.
Yeah.
He's so funny, man. Rich, man.
Yeah.
He can't
Like desperation.
tell he said when he that chariot, when the Lord do appear, he will kill him.
Yeah, but don't be surprised.
So you imagine you reach that far and now, but that character is that far, but now we understand who is the devil, who is the
The
soul.
Herodian dynasty come out from
Without that
Antiochus.
doubt. Local
Right?
white
The
man.
Herodian dynasty come from and this Herod who
Not
tried to put the
even
law to death.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Don't be
Sorry.
surprised if the
So
reincarnation
that,
is so powerful.
not
That is
even
how heavy it can be
Hey,
heavy.
Nebuchadnezzar is a
Very
heathen, right? But not even
Boy, Nebuchadnezzar bow to the power Yahweh
But that's it, not even
Ba'ashem.
Nebuchadnezzar ever had it in the thought
Should have
to come
become
against the
cold.
God of Daniel. I'm just showing you. When he was put to the test, Nebuchadnezzar say anybody talk against the God of Daniel will be cut into little pieces.
Yeah,
But
come.
this demon, this last demon that ruling here, he says that he's nation.
Right, so
They try to take out the Lord.
you finish it? Or you talk more?
And I thought 2 verses again.
Go ahead.
Right, so continuing, right? It say when he say he will stand up against the prince of princes, he say, but he shall be broken without hand.
You shall be broken without hand, which goes back to Daniel 2. Right?
Correct.
Image, you know,
Image,
what
yeah.
was broken, you know,
Smooth. Yeah.
You understand? Go ahead,
He back
Verse
here now, you know.
26, verse 26, it say, and the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days afterward.
You must be sick. No,
I
sir.
rose up.
With that whole story there,
Yeah, you must be sick.
Yeah, the whole vision
The
there.
whole
yeah,
vision,
yeah,
And I want to say
yeah.
he not just hearing, you know, he's seeing.
He's seeing,
Like,
yeah.
because he's seeing,
Another
he's seeing what Jay gonna go through.
Correct.
And Daniel thought, as Apostle Paul
Correct.
say,
Because
Daniel
John the
thought
Revelator
that would
too.
happen in their time, and that's how it was happening. Not knowing God put the spirit of prophecy on these men that we should understand it in our time.
Gone.
Because I used
To
to
know
nothing
what
but
to
with
do,
John the
yeah,
Revelator.
what to have, yeah.
He have vision of the impact.
Can. You understand?
And I say, I rose up and did the king's business, and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it.
Can.
And that devil Antiochus too, the Lord put a divinely inspired disease
Yeah,
upon him.
upon him, yeah.
Right, as they say.
You rotten alive, you know.
Rotten
We
alive,
say the
literally.
last part, we say?
Right?
Come.
He say, I rose up and did the king's business,
Yeah.
and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it.
You don't
When you
understand
have
the full
few.
vision.
You have
you
few
understand
ones,
it.
yeah.
But we
But
don't.
then he didn't know what he's
No,
saying.
Daniel didn't understand what it
Yeah,
is.
He thought it would have happened in his
In
time.
his
Yes.
time, and he thought that's how it would have
Yes.
happened.
But
Yeah.
that happened a while after because
Yeah.
because it's still the Medo-Persian had when the Medo-Persian had also been conquered. Then the lineage of a whole solution dynasty come down for in order for this fucker Antiochus to come on the scene to start doing wickedness.
The mystery of iniquity, boy.
Come.
Mystery of iniquity.
Yeah,
boy.
Daniel didn't live to see the Roman Empire come into
No. You understand? And this way it is here. You know, and as I said, this prophecy had already been fulfilled, but it still has an integral part here in today because it going into the Edomite. Because from the Grecian Empire, it transitioned to the Roman Empire.
God.
And from the Roman Empire, all right, which had that deadly wound, but the deadly wound was what? It was healed. It was healed. Now we're living in the remainder of the fourth beast, which goes back to Daniel 7 and 8. This thing here, it's seriously deep. It's seriously deep. Prophecies. This is what validates the scripture, the prophecies.
and then
And
so
gone
that-
the history because you can line this thing, you can line up all right, even if you read this all what you get here, right? And you get the understanding. And here we do now. You decide to put the Bible on trial. So you put aside the Bible and you go back to secular history now. The secular history going to confound you. Because why? It lining straight back up to what the Bible was showing you.
Correct.
Because the Bible is the most accurate history book in the world.
That's right.
that's right,
The most accurate history book.
shook him up.
Where is, again, Bhagwan Gita, the unholy Quran, right? The Egyptian book of the dead.
Yeah.
Take that any prophecy
Talmud.
in that Quran.
The Quran, the unholy Quran has no prophecy in
Nothing,
it.
yeah.
None of
You
these
just
books
live
has
it.
any prophecy in it.
Gone.
Where
So you don't know how going on.
you can't. You can't foretell the scripture talk about or somewhere in Isaiah, boy. If you
No,
can
this-
foretell the future or something.
And the Quran tell you, seek unto the people of the book. The people of the book are the Israelites. The very same Quran say that.
Tell it, seek the people of the book.
Which are the Israelites.
You see, this says that the divided kingdom headed by the revised Roman Empire, which is America, right? You see, begin AD 476, and then dash the second advent, meaning the second coming of the Lord. Right? So America will bring in the coming of the
At the
Lord.
end of the first earth age.
Can.
The end of the first
And
earth age.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
what Ezra was asking the Lord in
Yeah.
Ezra chapter 6. What is the beginning of the ending of the first
Yeah,
and the
and
beginning
again
of
of
the
the second.
Can't.
Yeah. Can't.
So
Can't.
one
Can't.
thing I attack. So
Yeah.
what will go on with this place with the building in the east?
Was that and what
Yeah, the no.
consider
Where's
for
called?
for the one world religion business,
Yeah.
they will build. Because that prophecy, what you have to understand, that is prophecy being fulfilled. You know? They shall build, but I will throw down. But the thing about it is, and that is what fooling a lot of people.
All of them under that same
Yes,
code.
all of them under that same thing, but who is at the helm? Who is at the helm?
Correct.
Not the Arabs.
Okay.
Esau, Edom.
I'll
Go
give an
ahead,
example.
go ahead.
Right? Who was at the World Economic Forum in Davos? Right? The Arabs and them was part of that. But who is the head of the World Economic Forum? Klaus Schwab. And Klaus Schwab is a family to the Rothschild and the Rockefeller. He's a family. When they trace back his lineage.
Yeah.
And what people don't know, they have these different names, Schwab and all this thing, Rockefeller, Rothschild, it's all the same family.
Yeah.
It's all the
to
same
make
family.
it- yeah.
Right? And somebody had sent a video tracing back the lineage of Schwab and them. Schwab is a relative to them.
To the Rothschilds and
So
them, yeah.
Schwab is an Edomite. He's a fucking devil. Right? And them is the one who influencing the Arabs, the Elamites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, all these nations into conforming to the new world order.
That is the reason why. That is the reason why Yahweh Hashem Yahshai has such a judgment for them, because they are the ones that, again, it goes back when them came into power. wickedness had increased it upon the face of the
And
earth.
all the world should be one. We just read it.
Actually, bring it back.
Yeah,
Bring it
man,
back
bring it
out
back again,
again.
yeah.
Bring it back out again.
Right?
My pause had a fucking
That
raise.
my
My
hair
pause
stand
had a
up right now. I tell
raise.
you,
My
I feel
pause
it.
literally
I feel
fucking
the first
raising.
Maccabees won.
Because
My
they
pause
know,
raising.
because
Yeah.
you know the kingdom will be under right now. That all we waiting for is the coming of the Lord now. For the prophet, the two last prophecies to come to pass. Literally, the MOT will come out, the whole chip, as they say, between now and 2025,
Yeah.
and the
World War III.
World War III, the Blue America bits, and the chariots coming.
chariots.
Can. And let me read this here. This first Maccabees 141.
Now we-
Moreover,
That's why I don't want Brother Steve to fuck home when it's up. We had to push more harder. in this
that's
field.
right.
Can.
Because the devil pushing harder.
Yeah.
Devil pushing harder.
And I focus on something too. You see that? You see how no God just say that day when he just break it down to Brackstock and he just say two last prophecies. That just close the gap to show how close we
How
is to
close
the
we
end.
is.
You know, it just
Measured out the time diligently
Can.
itself.
Can.
Measured out the time diligently
Can.
itself. We seen all the signs right here before we eyes.
These
Yeah.
you in the high rise there and watching and whatnot and
I don't make
in the $20,000
So
party
that's
and
why I
all that.
can't-
Them ain't know what the fuck going
But
on.
I can't just say my brother, but I don't make plans for tomorrow, you know. Or make plans for this world, you know. I have no, actually my brother and God, what is your plan? I have no fucking plan for this
and before you read
world.
that,
But I
just
see
a back up when
destroyed.
God knows say in Matthew 6.
Them don't know what the fuck going on. Them high in the 20,000.
Do you have any plan for tomorrow? I mean, you're not going to work tomorrow, is obvious, but do you have any plans for, sorry, for whenever
To make it in
to
this
the
place.
future?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we all have
Mark 13 and 33.
with to take care of. So with me, wherever it is, when that time comes, I don't know.
Where it is.
You don't know. Yeah.
No, well, the scripture says because the scripture says make no plan, make no time for tomorrow, and make no plans for
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Correct.
Like the scripture.
Yeah.
So,
Correct.
I ain't talking, when I say tomorrow, I ain't talking about like tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
literally
In
tomorrow.
the future.
In the future? Hell no. You have no plans for that?
Go now.
You could go and read it out.
Alright, this is first Maccabees 141. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom. I remember he was ruling over different peoples,
Correct.
had different nations on them. The Arabs and them too would have been under him, right? The Moabites, the Ammonites,
Certain
Elamites,
Hamites.
certain Hamites, the Elamites, all them would have been under him. And he's what? An Edomite. The same thing here now, Edomites, through Klaus Schwab, through the Rockefeller, the Rothschild, them are the ones ruling. Through
The
9 and 24,
Oppenheimers and all
the
that
earth
fucking
is
them.
given into the hands of the wicked.
Wicked, correct.
Right? Right? So moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every single thing that they're doing, whether it be those cities that they're building, all that is under the instruction of Klaus Schwab. And Klaus Schwab wrote a whole book itemizing this new world order. A whole book.
A whole book.
Talk about the cities, type of cities that
You
they want
see-
to build.
You see,
He talk about all this thing in the book.
Can,
So now the
Yeah,
Arabs,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
the Arabs, and now the Arabs who come up with that. So like, yeah. Yeah.
we have to understand it. In every country under the sun, every country under the sun,
Yeah.
there is the elite setup. They have this setup in every country under the sun. So all the setup under the sun,
Yeah.
all the countries had to take order from the higher ups. All of them. So there's not one man coming and say, well, we the Arabs and we have our own mind. No, sir. Everybody is instructed by one head.
Right.
If they don't, they will fucking bomb them.
Correct.
Like as take for instance Saddam Hussein for example. You understand? What is the precept there? What is the precept
In
there?
Matthew 6 and 34, right, back up when God say, right, it say take no, Salakia, take therefore no thought for tomorrow, for the morrow shall take thought
For itself, because it can, because this place done by as I just now, as an Slovakia, read it.
It says sufficient unto the day is Salakia, sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof.
Can, because as I now showing you, as I now saying, that's not Cap.
Go ahead.
As I now saying, put the camera over, so let's turn the camera over. So. Let's get a slow spin. Get a nice slow spin. Yeah, watch that. They're comfortable. They spending the 20,000 because it all kind of 20,000. Pay back on 20,000 and for an apartment there. The apartment that much, you know, that cost for you. Yeah, inside there. Yeah, that's especially especially
Must have lived at the top.
You want to live into the top. You understand?
Yeah.
And here why he telling you. Them don't know what the fuck going on. Them comfortable. You understand? Them don't pay the rent. Them driving and them paying 20,000 a rent, sometimes 15,000 to 10,000 according to what apartment they have. And they're driving.
Them gonna get hit first.
And they're driving the big vehicle and whatnot, so forth. They in the gated community and whatnot. Eh?
My reader precept back here.
Yeah, 40.
40,000.
You understand?
Remember bring out that scripture back up
You have
back.
like 40,000.
Because this one is this is
I can't only fuck that.
this is going to the it's Sam. They have the same spirit as Esau. It's Psalm 49:11. There, and one thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generation.
Can.
Right? Because they believe that this system going to continue, and they're going to keep in the
And
wickedness.
watch man, we not making plans, but you know, they're making plans, you know.
Yeah.
They're making plans, you know.
Yeah.
5 years from now, you know, then up with business, you can function.
Yeah.
And we would laugh at, honey. You can remember when we was living in those matchboxes and 20,000 and 40,000 and what a month they're paying plus driving big BM, this, that, the other. Vanity. But understand what I'm showing you. We who in the street here and lacking our funds and this and that and but not so forth. You know, but high in the funds of the Hawabasham Yahweh. We way better off than them. We way better off than them because when the system crash, we is not going to really feel it. You know, we're not really going to feel it.
Because we don't in that.
Because we mind done.
But what the
Set
scripture
there.
says, money is a defense and wisdom is a defense. You know, but wisdom is the excellency.
They don't have the slightest clue
Bring it
what
life.
coming to them.
Can't get shit. They say wisdom and knowledge shall be
Stability,
stability.
Right times.
Yeah.
They don't have the slightest clue what coming to them. They sure them must just watch you like a bunch of fucking madmen coming up here, sign up in front of a phone with bed sheet and curtain on and whatnot so forth. Who is them? I sure and what you like peasants before they go inside the door. Before the
we have fools for the Bible says we have fools for his sake.
Salakia.
He said, yet still, he said, we know within ourselves that his love continues with us all the time. Why we do this for? Because we know we have a bigger, better hope, a better horizon coming.
And verse 14, he say, for our light afflictions, you know, what we gonna get to roughly paraphrase.
Correct.
You know, they small thing to
Gone, they small thing compared to what we gonna get.
Condescending men of low estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Lord say he exalt the humble. You know, but the proud, yeah,
Bring
he
them
base
to our
them,
base,
he
our
base them
base,
down. Yeah,
our
that's what it is.
It's just what it
That's
is.
what it is.
That's what
Yeah.
go on with them. I sure when before they go inside the door, they did the watch. When you watch you and spit and go in the clothes.
And the scripture say if you curse, it shall be cursed.
Yeah, so
If you curse me, you will curse me.
we gotta lock it up because they're gonna shut
lights
down.
now, yeah.
There we
So,
go.
you know, so with that,
Go ahead.
alright, bloody faces, Yum. That is the call.
Lion,
Alright, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone as well.
Shalom.
Shalom and double salutation unto the brothers preaching, teaching the truth for the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so more than ever. Alright, shalom unto the speckled Israelites, shalom unto the very few but faithful Aquatium, you know. We hope that all of was truly edified through this lesson here that was done. Alright, we have another lesson lineup. Hopefully if I could come out next Wednesday, pursuant to how the plantation permitted. Alright? Come out and whatnot and you know, so again, you know, I hope you all is edified and understand how the seriousness of what we into here, what is about to take place upon the face of the earth, you know, what is going to happen and whatnot, so forth, you know, prophecies being fulfilled. Alright? So Shalom to the brothers and sisters, all take it easy, stay in the spirit and abad the ball onto this fucked up place, this fucked up world. May it fall and fall heavy and hard and never to rise again. Alright? And fuck you, Esau. Yeah.